Well, it is 1 o'clock and I am gonna start the old class now. So hello and welcome. I'm so glad you came today. In case you don't know me, I'm Megan Avery. I am the creator of Hipstitch Academy. I'm also a sewing instructor. I have a sewing studio in Hoboken, New Jersey, and I teach sewing classes there with my team of sewing instructors. We teach all kinds of classes for adults and kids, and we've been doing that since about 2003. Before that, I had a little bag business. I designed bags, sold them online, and then that's what kind of morphed into my teaching business. I started teaching bag workshops, and then that turned into all different kinds of sewing workshops. I started Hipstitch Academy about 3 years ago. It's been a pretty slow process. I just kind of started it as a selfish way to try and meet other sewing teachers and sewing business owners that are out there in the world. And it worked. I've met so many. I have all kinds of new friends that do what I do, and that's sort of why I started doing it. So I'm really pleased that that has also then turned into using my experience in teaching classes to help other people that are wanting to start their own sewing business or grow their own little sewing business as well. So here we are. That's kind of Hipstitch in a nutshell. I am always posting free content related to starting and growing your own sewing business. I do it at least every single week. It's over on the Hipstitch Academy website. In case you haven't seen it, it's hipstitch.co. You can also find me hipstitchacademy.com if you forget the hipstitch.co, and I am hoping that that content helps you in some way. And then I have all the curriculum that we use for our classes. I sell that over there in the hopes that you can, quickly print it out and have access to sewing projects that actually work for sewing classes versus just like going online and finding random projects. So all that curriculum is stuff we use in our own class. Oh, Joan, you're sweet. Thank you. She was just saying that it actually does work. So yes, it totally does. And I also coach sewing business owners. So if you have specific things or you need accountability, I'm there for you for one-on-one coaching. So you can find that info on the website. So let's see. Oh, the other thing I was going to just talk about real quick is online courses. I just turned the Sewing Studio Startup Academy into an online course that you can take on your own. It was sort of a group thing for a while, and then it's morphed into an online course. It's 100% free. It's 5 days of video content, just kind of to get you started, sort of that kick in the pants. And then we've got other courses over there as well. So I just want to say thank you for showing up for this live class. And, it's kind of a weird thing. It's like, why a live class? Why not a video? I like the idea of this being completely live. I like that at 1 o'clock once a week, I'm just kind of going off the cuff, and not really off the cuff, I have notes, but talking to you. I've been a sewing teacher for so long in person that's my style. I just kind of go in there, I teach people, I help them. I want to find out what questions you have, and we can do that in this live format. I'm hoping. I'm kind of getting used to the whole, like, you writing something and then me reading it. So if I stop and look distracted, that's probably why someone's typed something. Anyway, this is why I'm doing the live classes. I'm just a teacher at heart, and I can't have you all here in my studio, obviously, because you're all over the country, all over the world even, but I wanted to teach you in a way. And this is the way I figured out how to do it. So for 2020, I'm going to do this every week. And guess what? It's totally official. They're all going to be free, and at least until who knows when. I was just going to have them be free in December, but you know what? For me, it's also forcing me to kind of get this content created once a week. And even if nobody shows up, even if nobody signs up, I'm going to do it, and it's going to be there for the taking. And then I will also post this content up on the website as well. So I won't have to edit it either. That's the other part of it, is that if it's live, then it's just live and I don't have to do any editing. I literally just take this 1 hour or 45-minute video and I can post it and you can watch it and you can see, you know, if you're watching it on a video right now, it's not live, then you're seeing all the questions that people asked while it was going on. So that's kind of why I'm doing this. In case you haven't seen our full schedule, go over to hipstitch.co/video classes. You can see all the topics that are coming up. I mean, it's subject to change, but for the most part, it's up there. It's the stuff I'm going to be talking about. It's going to be a different day every week, only because I don't want to miss people who maybe have a standing thing on Tuesdays at 1. They can make it to live classes another week. So different days, just check that schedule. And then of course, if you can't make it live, just catch the rebroadcast up on the Sewing Teacher blog. Now, we're in Zoom, and hopefully you've all found your way into that, those of you that are on the call. You know, you can go over and post a question. I think you can raise your hand. I will do my best to sort of pay attention to that while at the same time trying to stay on track with the topic. If you want to reach out and introduce yourself, feel free to do that as well. So jumping into today's topic, I am excited because we are going to talk about email marketing. And email marketing, you know, it's not the most exciting thing in the whole world, but it is by far the most effective marketing tool that I've used for my business. And it's been like that since day one. I've had different email marketing services throughout the time that I've taught and had my business. But I've always tried to be really consistent with my email marketing. So I'm going to talk about specifically today your email list, what exactly that means to have an email list, why you definitely need an email list for your business, and how you can start an email list if you don't already have one. Don't worry, it's totally free. And some strategies for if you have one and you want to grow it. I'm not going to get super technical with this. So it's kind of a baseline, but if you have some questions, let me know where you're at. Let me know where you're stuck. Let me know what specifically you want to learn. I'm just reading these questions now. Oh, someone's asking if you can sign up for the live 2020 now. Yes, you can. However, I think I'm going to change the way I do it, so don't do it yet. I think I'm going to take the whole scheduling thing out of it and just have you sign up right on Zoom. I'm I'm figuring it out as I go, so bear with me. So let's get into this. What is an email list? An email list is simply a list of emails that you as a business has gathered from your visitors, from your customers, from people who are interested in receiving information from you. They want to get your updates. They want to get your promotions. If you're having a discount, they want to be the first ones to find out about it. And it's a digital format. You send an email and you have a service provider and they send these beautiful emails out to everyone who's on your list. Basically, your email list is your people. It's your tribe. They're the ones who've said, yes, I like what you're doing. I want to learn how to sew. I have an interest in your classes, and they've requested from you to be on that list because they don't want to miss anything that you're doing. These people are your biggest fans, and these people are past customers. If you've not started yet, these are, you know, maybe people that you've met at a promotional event, but they're people who want to hear from you in the future. Now, if you are completely 100% starting out and you don't have a list at all, don't worry about it. Because this list now is people in your life who love you. They're your friends, they're your sister-in-law, they're your cousins, your mom, your kids, you know, your husband, whoever, your Facebook friends. Put the people on there that, you know, try to think of as many people as you can who you can put on there who would want to hear from you. And you know what? If you're not comfortable just putting them on, email them first and say, hey, I'm going to add you to this list. If you really don't want to be on it, totally fine. But they're not going to do that, right? They're the people that love you. Then you have a starting point for your list, okay? So I'm going to get into detail a little bit later, you know, some solid ways to grow your list. But if you're just starting out, one really great way to get your list going once you've created it, and we'll talk about that. It's super simple. Once you've created it, putting that link to it over on your personal Facebook. Hey, friends, hey, Facebook friends, whoever, I have a business and I have an email list and I have lots of cool happenings going on, and I'm wondering if you'd like to be on my list and know what's going on. Here's the link to get on it. And that, you know, is going to be a really easy way to get people over to your email list and start growing it right away. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how many people are actually going to go and do that based on like one post on Facebook, right? Okay, so we'll get into how you're going to keep this list. It's not, you know, a piece of paper and a pencil kind of list, right? It's a digital list. It lives online, and you need to sign up for a service that is going to take care of keeping your list straight and getting people signed up and taking them off when they want to come off. And if anybody has never heard of it, there's a service called MailChimp, and it's completely free for up to 2,000 subscribers. So you need to get over there if you haven't already and sign up. It's basically a marketing platform that gives you the tools to find your customers, to build your audience, and to bring your sewing business to life. In a nutshell, it allows you to write and send your emails and then keep track of that list, right? And then you can also see who reads your emails, who opens them, who clicks on them. And if you're real tech savvy, I'm not quite there yet, you can follow it through to who actually signs up for something. But you can do that manually. You know, it's like every time I send out an email, I see the ripple effect of class signups. So I know it works for me. And so that's why I do make regular emails, AKA once a week, about my sewing studio. I do that once a week. Okay. So that's MailChimp.com. Get over there. It makes, you know, it basically keeps that list. But then the other really cool thing that it does that we're going to talk about too is it makes a tool that you put on your website. And so if somebody somehow Googles you, finds out that you do sewing classes in Milwaukee, and they are like, wow, look at this class list. I'm not ready yet, or I don't have time right now, but I want to think about it in 3 months. There's a pop-up box on your website that says, hey, sign up, get on our list. And MailChimp makes that super, super easy. You don't have to be like a, you know, a web person, a designer to be able to do that. It's really simple. And if you can't do it, there's probably someone in your life that can, or whoever does your website can help you, right? Okay. And one of the things I just want to say was, yeah, you can't just send an email from your Outlook or whatever anymore. You can't, blind CC a bunch of people who you happen to have on your list and you're copying and pasting it. I don't think anybody's doing that, but yeah, it doesn't work so well. So this is why MailChimp is great. And I have nothing to do with MailChimp. I'm, obviously, I don't know, they're huge. Everybody knows about MailChimp. And if you're going to start your list, start with them. There's plenty of other services. They get a little bit more complicated, I feel like. So start with MailChimp. Okay. The other thing that is cool and maybe a little bit sad about using one of these services is, I think it's the law now, I don't exactly know, but you have to have a way that allows people to unsubscribe from your email. So if they get your emails and they don't want them anymore, or maybe they've moved away and they're not in your area, you can then let them unsubscribe really easily. So that just kind of keeps track of your email list. And my advice to you is, do not look at your unsubscribe list, especially when you're first starting out, because you might recognize emails. And you never know why anybody unsubscribes from an email list, and maybe you won't take it personally, but I remember there have been times when I've looked at it and I was like, oh wow, they unsubscribed from my email. But whatever, I've gotten over it. Anyway, if you've not opened up your MailChimp account, go do that right after this class and just play around in it. They have all kinds of tutorial videos, and they have, just easy ways to get started. It's basically email for the masses. So go over there and try it out. All right. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about why you need an email list, in case you didn't know that already. It's basically the best way to kind of keep in touch with all the people who want to know what you have going on. They've already said, hey, I am interested in sewing classes. I found you. I want to keep in touch with you, and I want to know what you've got going on in the future. So it's a bit more of an intimate relationship maybe than just posting on Facebook. It's actually like, hey, here's who I am. Here's what I have coming up. We hope you sign up, right? That kind of thing. It's your way to check in with them and then announce everything that's going on. And because they receive the information in their inbox, it's a little bit more sacred, I think, than social. And I'm going to compare it a lot to social media, I think, because those are the two easy sort of free marketing tools that we tend to go to. But so in comparison to social media, it's a place that they're looking to find out about these things. Rather than social media, it's more of like, I don't know if you're looking for like cool happenings on social media. I mean, I guess you are a little bit, but I think your email inbox is a bit more sacred, and you're looking for, hey, what's new and exciting that is going on. So, and I think that the way that people consume their email, it's different from other media as well. It's not just like going on and looking at like a million different things that's going on, like on a Facebook screen or Instagram. You're more dedicated to looking at it and looking at it at a time that you can kind of digest it a bit more, and then click over to find out more information and spend some time understanding it. So yeah, it's proven. If you go out and Google statistics about email marketing versus social media marketing, it's like blows it out of the water as far as converting it to actual sales, right? Because everyone goes like a little bit nuts about social media and like Instagram and Facebook, because you kind of see, oh, you can see how many followers you have, and you judge other people based on how many followers they have. And it's that weird, like, oh, they must be like having a really successful business because they have like 10,000 followers, or even, 6,000 followers, or whatever it is. But are those followers then turning into sales? It's like, what is the thing that's going to fill your classes? And I'm not saying that people aren't going to sign up for your classes based on social media marketing. I'm not saying that at all. However, I think that people are going to be more apt to read an email when it's convenient for them, find out what you've got going on, look at your schedule, and sign up based on that email versus based on a post they saw on Facebook, right? And another really good thing to point out is you own your email list, right? You have it, it's in MailChimp, but technically you kind of own it. You can any day click download and it'll give you a whole spreadsheet of your names and your emails, and like you could have that. You own it, right? You've worked on it, you've built it. Facebook, on the other hand, and when I say Facebook, I mean Facebook and Instagram. They're basically, they're owned by the same company. They're doing things very similarly. They control, how people see what you're doing. So they have all the control over who's seeing your posts, how often they're seeing it. And it's not great because they want to make money. Their way of making money is getting businesses like ours and other businesses to buy their advertising so that people see the content that you're providing and they make money, right? That's their business plan, basically. Whereas email marketing, these are, you're sending this direct message to someone and they're the ones deciding whether or not they see it, and I'm not saying that every email that you write is going to be opened or clicked on by everyone on your list, far from it, but you have more control over that. So your list is yours with email. Facebook, something could happen tomorrow and it could just all go away and then you've got nothing, So I feel like it's a little bit more beneficial to your business to build your email list versus building your followers or your Facebook fans or whatever, okay? Whatever they're called now. I never call it the right thing. So yeah, that is kind of Facebook versus Instagram in a nutshell. I did find some statistics that I thought were sort of interesting, and these are based on a report done by Global Web Index flagship report from 2018. I don't know exactly what that means, but it was a reputable website that I'm finding that on, or I'm finding these statistics on. But basically, the total users of email, they're saying, is 3.8 billion. Total users of social media is 3.4 billion. So not a huge difference, right? When they asked people their preferred channel for promotion, 60% of people said, I prefer to receive promotions via email, versus 20% of people saying, I'd prefer to receive promotions via social media. So that's a big difference. 60% of people saying, I'd rather hear about it on email, 20% saying, oh no, give it to me all on social media. Then this next statistic is the conversion rate. So the conversion rate is basically getting someone to do what you want. Click on a link, sign up for something, whatever it is, you're converting them. And they're saying that an email conversion rate is 6%, 6.05, and social media is 1.9. I mean, I don't know, that one, it's not a huge difference, but still, again, it's way tipped towards email. And then they went into open rate, click-through rate, and engagement rate. And without getting into what all of these things are. It's actually pretty simple, but they're saying 23% of people open an email. I think that's really high. My open rate is not usually that high, and maybe that's because of me, but I'm guessing that's high. However, you know, even if you say it's like 15, 16% of emails, I mean, that's pretty good compared to, they're saying social media engagement rate, that's a like or a comment, is 0.58%. Okay, so big difference. Anyway, like I said, take these however you want to take them, but I just wanted to show you that email is huge as far as your marketing compared to social media. So moving on, I wanted to also say something about Facebook and all the competition that you're dealing with, just competition for attention. I think that Facebook or social media is a place that you kind of go on thinking you're looking for one thing, or at least is how I do it. I go on, I'm looking for one thing or want to see something, and before I go to what I need to see or figure out, I'm completely distracted by everything else that's going on Facebook. I'll find myself, you know, looking at cute baby photos, and then I'm watching like a tasty recipe video, and I'm going on there for like work stuff, you know, usually, because I try not to go on just to waste time. So I'm going on for like you know, maybe to reply to something that someone had inquired about, and then I'm completely forgetting what I'm doing. So imagine your customer doing exactly the same thing. They're not in a mindset to go, oh, wow, look at these fun classes. Somebody's having a bag workshop on Saturday. Let me go do that. I don't know. I feel like it's just, there's so much going on Facebook compared to what's going on in your email inbox. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say about Facebook, I belong to a couple sort of, well, just one, I guess, besides mine, an email group for sewing teachers. And there was a discussion, and I think there are a couple discussions about having your own website versus having a Facebook site for your business. And I get it. Facebook sites for your business, they're free, right? And so you can't argue with free, but I think you kind of get what you pay for, right? If you're going to have a serious business where you want to have your classes listed and you want people to be able to sign up securely with a credit card, so you're not like swiping or going after people to collect money for your classes, you want them paying ahead of time, coming to class, and then everybody's happy. I just think that having your own website is definitely a must-have for sewing business owners. So anyway, don't want to, you know, make anybody feel bad, but I think that, you know, you've got to do it. And again, you can't trust Facebook. If they decide that you can't have your Facebook listing, your business listing anymore tomorrow, then you've got nothing, right? When you have your own website, you own that website. It's your content. It's your space on the internet, right? Okay. So we've got our list, and maybe you all have come on this call and you already have your list and you're like, Megan, I want to know, how do I grow this list? Because the amount of people on your email list, I believe, is directly proportional to your sales. And obviously this isn't the only way that you're going to reach people that will sign up and buy your classes, but I do believe the bigger the list you have, the more people you're reaching, therefore the more sales you'll have in your business. So let's figure out how to grow your business. I'm just going to go into 5 simple, easy things that you can do starting now to grow your list. And number one is the good old-fashioned way. Any event that you do, have a piece of paper for people to sign up and put their email address. And I don't love doing that, but every time I do it, I can add like 100, like I'll do street fairs or a vendor market or something like that. Like people are used to it and they just come up and they're like, oh yeah, this is great. I want to hear about what you're doing. Let me put my name in my email. Just have them write neatly, because it's nothing worse than getting back and then trying to figure out what someone's email address is. Anyway, number one, paper and pencil at events. Number two, social media. So use social media to your advantage to get people over to your email list, right? If you've got a big old audience on Facebook, get them to be on your email list. And whether that's your personal Facebook, like I said, you're announcing it, hey, here's the link, go get on it. Or if you've already got a business account and you can figure out a way to get them over to your email list, do that. Number three, the other good old-fashioned way is by asking people to share. So I talked about putting people on your list, your friends, your family, the people who love you, and then anybody else who's already signed up. When you send an email communication, have them share that email, and maybe there's even some incentive for them to do that. Maybe you can give them a discount on a class, or there's some way that you can keep track of them sharing what you've got going on with their friends and their family, and then they will get on your list as well. So again, it's just asking for people to share what you've got going on. Okay, number four is a little bit more technical, but it's not hard, and that is using a call to action on your website homepage, right? So you open up maverydesigns.com, which is my studio website, and I have call to actions in a few different places. I have a pop-up that says, you know, don't miss a stitch or something like that. And, you know, we've got tons of great things going on. Get on our email list to be notified about everything we have. And you can control how often someone sees that. So if someone's going to your website all the time, you can control it so they don't see that every single time and be really, really annoying, right? Because you don't want to turn people off that way. But these pop-up boxes, I was a little resistant when I first started it, I have to tell you, because I was like, oh, those are just annoying. But I think we're all used to them now. Like, honestly, if I'm reading an article and I just want to get to the article and then there's a pop-up box, I either decide I'm going to sign up and be a part of this person's email list, or I exit out. You know, it's nothing that I even honestly consciously think about. And because, you know, depending on how you're putting this on, I know MailChimp has a really, really easy way to put it onto any website, and they have the control of, you know, how often someone will see it, how many seconds into them being, or your customer being on your website, how long they're going to be on before they're going to get that pop-up. You can control that. And, oh, I think you know, you can even do where it's like they're clicking along, they're looking at your website, and then if they sort of indicate like they're going to go off of your website, then a pop-up will kick in and be like, don't leave, or don't leave without getting on our list. So all this stuff sounds really fancy and technical, but it's not. It's actually very simple. So get on over to MailChimp and do that. It's a matter of creating this box and then taking that code, cutting and pasting it, and putting it onto your website, right? Okay, then number 5. Taking the call to action and taking it one step further and giving them a valuable piece of content. And that content doesn't even have to be that much. Maybe it's somehow like a coupon code that they can use on your website to get 10% off their next class. Or maybe it is like a cool little PDF that you created about how to sew a button. I don't know if you guys can hear that. This is live, like I said. And we're having some work done downstairs. So yeah, of course it's happening in the hour that I'm talking to you. But anyway, I think it's gone now. So yeah, the content. Create, I don't know, like a little hem instruction PDF, or maybe like a little Christmas ornament how-to. And you can put that as something that somebody gets by getting onto your email list. Some sort of valuable piece of content that anybody who might be interested in sewing classes would find interesting, and then say, yeah, you know what, I am going to sign up for their email. I don't think you necessarily need it for the business that we're in, whereas, you know, people are usually looking for, you know, what we do. They want to sign up for a class. So then therefore, yes, they want to find out about things that are going on. Okay. So those are my 5 ways. I'm just gonna repeat those for you really quick. So the manual way of adding a piece of paper, adding names to a piece of paper at an event, using social media, just asking people, hey, I have this business, get on my list. 3, encouraging people to share your email. 4, using a call to action. So if you hear about CTA, that's the call to action, asking, you know, somebody, hey, get on my list. And 5, creating a piece of content that people want in return for getting onto your email list. Okay. So those are them. If you guys have questions, let me know. Oh, someone just asked if the piece of content that you are offering should be created by you. Yeah, totally. This is like, it should be like kind of showing that you're the expert, right? You are the sewing teacher. You have a sewing business. You know about sewing. And so therefore your piece of content is something that a potential student would be into. And like, I'm trying to think of like something like really basic, like you know what it is. When people come up to you and you like, oh, I teach sewing. And they're like, oh man, I don't even know how to sew a button. If I had a nickel for every time someone said that to me, I would be a rich person. But so something like that. It's like, maybe it's a quick little video about, you know, on your phone of like you sewing a button. I don't know, whatever it is. But yes, it should be something you created because you're the expert. And then they're going to want to take classes from you, right? So, I mean, this just about wraps up my spiel about email lists. I didn't get too into like what the actual email says, and I'll definitely be doing that because that's a very exciting topic, because you want to, you know, there are certain things that you need to say to get your emails opened. But for now, this is starting, growing, and why you need an email list. So now I'm going to ask you, if you enjoyed this, spread the word, tell people about this. You know, I love doing it. This is like, this fires me up. Honestly, I know I don't seem like a really like super fired up person, but I am. This is exciting for me. I love to help other people do this because I feel strongly that the world needs more people who know how to sew, especially right now. Like I see kids on a daily basis who have no idea where their clothes come from. And I don't know, that's kind of frightening to me, but this you know, this is what gets me excited. So if you could tell other people or take a screenshot of this, if you're watching on your phone or even on your computer, post it on social media and tag me. It's just at hipstitchacademy.com. If you haven't already followed me over on social media, please do. I'm not great about posting over there because email is definitely more my focus. However, that's one of the things that I am going to kind of strive for, is a little bit more consistency on my Hipstitch Academy Instagram and Facebook. So get on over there, follow me. And YouTube. These videos are going to go right on my YouTube channel. They'll also be on the blog, but they're all hosted right on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed, it's youtube.com/Hipstitch Academy. And that's all I've got. I love finding out if this stuff is helpful, so let me know. And what else? Yeah, get over there and sign up for the future classes. I'm going to go and fix the links right now so you can actually sign up the correct way. And hopefully you can join us next week. We're going to talk about social media, even though I've talked about how it's not as great as email marketing. I do believe that there's a place for it. And like I said, I want to make more content over on my social media. So this is my way of getting my butt in gear. So next week, we're talking about generating new content ideas for social media. And I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to be on Friday, December 20th. I know everyone's going to be super busy for the holiday, but that's going to be the last one. That's not going to be the last of the new year. That's the last one before Christmas. Then that next week we're off. And then I have one more that week between. It's like my favorite week of the year, between Christmas and New Year's. Everyone's quiet and there's not a whole lot going on. We have a camp going on, but yeah, that's my favorite time of year. So we'll have one that week as well, probably talking about like goal setting, I think. I can't remember exactly what it is, but we'll be getting ready for 2020. All right, that's it. Thank you all for coming. Take care. Oh, I don't even know how to turn this off. Oh, there it is.